So I got involved with Satanism because at the time it resonated with me, being very broken and being very sad without realizing it. And I think the reason why a lot of people resonate with Satanism is they come from a very broken place. And I have met thousands of Satanists over the last 3 years. And I'm not saying that their intentions are bad or whatever, but they are extremely broken and extremely hurt. And that's the one thing they all have in common. And that's the thing that, coming from a place of hurt and being broken, that's why I resonated with the philosophy, because the way certain things are written, it's written from a place of anger, and people read it and they would resonate with it and they would say, but this is what I've been feeling. And if you are broken, you will certainly resonate with the philosophy. So that is how I got involved in it, and that was more than 4 years ago, and things progressed from there. And as most people know, we took the church, the Satanic Church, very publicly at the time, because we felt it's, it's needed to stand up against certain things and represent Satanism. So at that time, I did believe that is what is my truth and what was real to me, not realizing how broken I was. So I'm also not here today to say that I'm a victim, because I've certainly never been a victim. I've never claimed victimhood or any of that. So just about the background, but my experience of what I've had in the last month plus is what I want to share today, and that is the topic of the video. To get back to the topic at hand is why did I leave, and why did I resign from the South African Satanic Church, as well as why did I turn my back on Satanism. So let's start by saying that I've never known unconditional love. So I did this interview, and after the interview, this lady came to me. And in this interview, I said, I don't believe in Jesus. And I don't believe that Jesus Christ exists, because I didn't. And she came to me after the interview, after I said that, and she hugged me and she held me in a way that I've never been loved. That's all she did. She didn't say anything. She just said, it's nice to finally meet you in person. And she just hugged me and she held me. And a week later, through WhatsApp, through a status, I saw, this woman is a Christian. I couldn't believe it, because I've never had a Christian do that. I've never experienced a Christian showing that much love and acceptance unconditionally. After I've said the things I've said, she did that. And it stayed with me. I said, oh, okay, cool, she's a Christian, whatever. And then a week later, and I don't want to talk about Satanism. I don't want to talk about the details of it, but in the occult, there is certain rituals that you do to ascend to the top of a pyramid, and you can only do a certain amount at a time. And after that interview, I had a meeting with council members at the church, and they said, okay, great, now we've done all these interviews and people know, and it's growing, Satanism is growing, and believe me people, it's growing. And I had to do a ritual by myself to see what is the next step. What is the next thing? How do I get more power, more influence? And I did this ritual and I opened myself up. And Jesus appeared. And I was extremely cocky. And I said, whatever. If you are Jesus, you need to prove it. And he flooded me with the most beautiful love and energy. And I recognized it immediately because that woman at the radio station showed it to me. That's how I recognized the love of Christ. Because 4 people, 4 Christians showed it. I recognized it immediately because 4 people showed it to me, and I didn't understand it at the time. I couldn't understand it because, like I said, I didn't believe. Even when I was in Christian ministry almost 20 years ago, apologies, you think you believe things and you're okay, so there's a book that tells you certain things and therefore it's that. I never knew it until a month or 2 ago. And I could recognize it because there's 4 people who showed it to me. And it's not the people who fight you and they declare spiritual warfare and they do things, and that's not the love of Christ. The love of Christ is unconditional. And for the last month, I've been having conversations, real conversations with God. And there's things that we will never understand with our cognitive minds. We will never understand it. And I've had people, obviously, in the last few weeks say, you know what, it's cognitive dissonance and whatever, like intellectual things, and I've studied this and that. So have I. I've been an atheist for most of my life. I've been a Satanist for 5 years. So I understand where a lot of those people come from. But when you experience it, it is something different. And again, I'm not here to attack people, but I want to get a few things off my chest. I have for a long time believed that I am not worthy of God's grace because I'm gay and because I have certain abilities. So people made me believe for a very long time I'm not worthy of that. Let me tell you something today. The kingdom of God is not a gated community. The kingdom of God is open to everybody.